I've seen Diddy have to hire extra security, almost the military, to stop people from wanting to scale the wall to get in his house, because on the other side of that wall is Beyonce, Jay-Z, and every big star you want to know.
Jason Lee, the man known for spilling all the hottest celebrity secrets, has just uncovered something huge. Over the years, he's built a reputation for getting the inside scoop, and now he's hit the jackpot with a bombshell that's set to shake Hollywood. Here's the deal. Jason isn't just your average gossip reporter. He's got connections everywhere and knows how to dig deep. Recently, he got a tip from someone in Diddy's inner circle, hinting at some shady business. The whispers suggested Diddy was involved in some dark dealings, the kind that send chills down your spine. Jason, being fearless as always, decided to investigate. He reached out to his sources, followed the clues, and started piecing it all together. What he uncovered: allegations of Diddy being tied to some unsettling industry sacrifices, the kind of thing straight out of a horror movie. But Jason isn't keeping this under wraps. He's building his case, gathering evidence and testimonies, and preparing to drop the truth on the world. This could be the biggest revelation of his career. What exactly did Jason Lee discover? That's the million-dollar question. But one thing's clear: this is about to rock the entertainment world and make everyone rethink the cost of fame and fortune in Hollywood.
In that moment, I had a choice to show up and be me, and I did. But it's not the old me that would have lost it.
Yeah.
And just put it all out there for everybody else to watch without context, to go, gotta stay away from that guy. You know, so that's the part of the evolution that I'm on. I don't know if it's therapy, I don't know what it is, but I'm happy with it.
You said there's a difference. You call yourself a culture critic,
Yeah.
not an entertainment journalist.
Right.
What's the difference?
Well, for me, remember, was it Ebert, Siskel and Ebert, where they used to watch movies and they used to have their critic of it? Mm-hmm. You know, I watch the industry play out. I watch entertainment and politics play out, and I have an opinion for it. A journalist, they don't really have opinions, in my opinion. They're writing a story, they're telling a story without putting their opinions on it. I like to have an opinion. I've never written a story on my website. I don't write stories. I have writers that do that. I have social media. I don't post on Hollywood Unlocked. My writers, they do all of that. They have editorial discretion, do whatever they got to do, of course, within the guidelines that I've set. And if there's any questionable thing, they'll ask and I'll say yes or no. But when it comes to my opinion, I get my notes of what the topic is, and then I just say what I think. Very rarely go through all the notes.
You started Hollywood Unlocked in 2015.
Yes.
With who?
Me.
Now, in 2024, how many employees do you have?
Oh, now I have there's probably total like 14. Yeah. Because now we have a chief revenue officer who's focused on bringing in revenue. We have a chief financial officer who's responsible to make sure we're managing the money right, and the cap table and the investors and this and that. And then, you know, we have, we just launched Healthcare Unlocked, which is a whole healthcare initiative to get Americans healthier, because people don't know that there's $0 healthcare options affordable to them. And now for people that have been kicked off of Medicaid, the government kicked off like 11.5 million people off Medicaid. We're helping to sign those people up through working with celebrities to promote that, getting America healthier again. So there's different parts of the business. It's evolved from a website and a social media page to a show to original content. And now we're, looking at the tech side and developing our app and our network. We have an award show, which you should come to June 21st. It's Fly at the Beverly Hilton. We're evolving. There's so much more we want to do.
So, out of everything you could have covered, what was your need to cover the culture or pop culture, so to speak?
Because look at what's happening to Diddy right now. I'm not saying Diddy did it. I'm not saying Diddy didn't do it. And I'm not going to say no Diddy. That's the whole joke online right now. But when you look at it, we cannibalize our own more than they do.
For sure.
We will cancel us before they do, and we will make ourselves the laughing stock, not understanding we're really doing the layup for it to happen to somebody else, right? You saw when Kanye got canceled for doing what he did, and what he did was very reckless in how he decided to articulate his thoughts. But then you saw how easy it was for people to try to go after and kill Kyrie for retweeting something that existed on Jeff Bezos' website. right? Nobody ever mentioned Jeff Bezos. So, when I look at the application to cancel culture, when I look at the storytelling and how they used to vilify Floyd, and here I am on the jet with this man, super generous, looking out for everybody, inspiring kids everywhere we go, all over the world, people know him and are inspired by him. But to vilify him or make a mockery out of him or to do this and that, I'm like, there has to be a platform that has a little bit more responsibility. You can still be critical, but you got to be fair and you got to be even-handed in how you hand it out. That's what I thought I wanted to do. So as a critic, it was Charlemagne who said, because he was somebody else I looked up to, and you see his evolution from when he was with Wendy to now, I looked at him, he said, man, it's really hard for me to tell what you are, but if anything, you're a culture critic. So I called my attorney and I said, trademark culture critic, because that's what I am. And then now that's what because they would say, oh, he's a blogger. How you going to call me a blogger and put me in not that there's anything with being a blogger, but that's your way of minimizing my impact, or that's your way of minimizing my power. That's your way of minimizing my influence. And dumb people will buy into that shit. I'm way bigger than that. Because there's people like, the people that had the Wendy Williams show that told me I wasn't big enough to host their show. Then I went out and built a show that was making more numbers than with Sherry. Shout out to Sherry. I love her show now. But, when she first came out the gate, I killed her in the numbers. And I didn't have the big infrastructure of a network behind me and, all these advertisers. It was just me, my 3 people, and a studio I built. And we killed them, crushed them with Cardi B first episode. So I look at it like, again, being a culture critic, you have a responsibility to the culture while being critical to also protect it and make sure that other people recognize that.
I feel that. I mean, granted, you're here on set of Funky Friday, funded by yours truly. And I've always said this many times, that what I penetrate or project into the world is something that I want people to see authenticity. I want people to see like, yo, bro, I care to tell the truth. And I want to be very relatable to the people who I want to impact. You just can't put me in this corner to say like, oh, no, don't say that or don't do that. It's like, no, bro, I want to give hope to people by saying you can still make it by being yourself.
Yeah.
And we're living in a very sensitive world, might I add. But at the same time, being fake is popular. Mm-hmm. Being real is castrated.
It's really scary. It's really scary. Like, I don't post on social media like I used to anymore because I understand the weight of my influence and the words I use. Right. But there are times I'll look at things happen and I want to go say something, but I choose now to only do it if it's in my podcast or on my show. It's a part of my show. Because if I go say it on Instagram, it hits different. People go, But we are living in a world where everybody's ultra sensitive. And this is the craziest part of how we're all trained to become enslaved to the bullshit. You want that brand endorsement, you got to fall within the guidelines or fall within the culture of this brand. Well, if your opinion or your free thought doesn't fall within the guidelines of a brand that's going to pay you, that means you're paid for your thought. So you're really not a free thinker, you're a slave. And so I don't have all the deals I could have, and I'm going to get deals because they're being offered to me now, but I keep telling everybody, if you want me to work with you, you're going to have to understand the level of freedom that I operate in. I'm going to have to be able to say what I think and what I feel. And here's the scary part about it. Howard Stern can do it. Joe Rogan can do it. But if you black and brown and you do it, you didn't think that noose was off your neck. You better get back over there and sit down. See, that's why I love it. They can't get me. And as soon as I feel like they're going to get me, like Tamara Hall. I don't really hate Tamara Hall. She's beautiful. She's a wife, mom, and all that. But like, why all the black people keep saying you don't like black people at your show? There's this doctor, if you go and look, Dr. Ian, I think his name is. He went and said how the producers over there was treating him as a black man. He went into this whole thing. You got to go watch it anyway. There's a problem over there because you're too busy chasing TikTok, like most of these rappers, because you fall on that TikTok. Well, what happens when TikTok gets banned? Oh, you motherfuckers ain't going to know who you are. I am. I'm viral on TikTok every day and never even know how I got there. It just finds its way to TikTok. I don't give a fuck about TikTok. But everybody right now is enslaved to being fake because to be real, to be that one thing that ain't like nothing else, boy, you ain't in line. But Joe Rogan and them can do it and get $200 million to do it.
A big bag.
Crazy.
But I have to ask, and you being in the position that you've created for yourself, admirable, might I add. Everything that's happened with Diddy right now.
Yeah.
Like, how does that affect you? Real relationship. I'm pretty sure you've built a relationship with him respectfully over the years of knowing who he is, what he represents.
Yeah.
Your show was on Revolt.
Yeah. I don't have a friendship with Diddy. He's not my friend. We don't hang out. We've texted a few times. I was on his network. I've been to many of his house parties. Let's start with different silos of Diddy, right? Okay, on one hand, cultural icon. He's done a lot for music, fashion, culture. He has a school, had a school, network ownership, one of the few black owners of a network. Musically, he's inspired the world for years. As a human being, he's had lots of conflict. You had Tupac's death, Biggie's death, all the drama. We had the shooting with J-Lo. Shine went to prison. Maybe he shouldn't have went to prison. There's always been these stories about Diddy being evil. I've heard he was the devil. I heard he was evil. He even once threatened me. But I don't know if it was the De Leon or Ciroc or if it just felt itself. But I was taking a picture in his house and he walked over and he said, "Don't you ever fucking try me. I'm letting you know right now I'm a different type." I said, "Do you want to get in the picture or not? Because I'm drunk, you drunk, and I ain't about to do this with you." Yeah, he got in the picture, took the picture, he said, "I f with you, man. If you don't get your crazy Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde ass out of here." But you know, that was the little experience I had with him. But every text was always love. It was always cool. It was always nice to me. When I see him and Cassie together, I have a video somewhere on one of my Snapchats, them dancing through the house and having a great time, all love. I mean, I've seen Diddy have to hire extra security, almost the military, to stop people from wanting to scale the wall to get in his house because on the other side of that wall is Beyonce, Jay-Z, and every big star you want to know. T.D. Jakes was there too, but I don't know if he was busting open. I'm just saying. Because they said that too about the good bishop. This is what I hate about the internet. If you say it is true, if you think it is true, if somebody retweets it, it's true. Everything ain't true. I don't know. What? I'm just saying, the fact that they said the bishop was busting open, I honestly had to take a break that week because I said, what we're not going to do is take a man who's touched the world, pause, or whatever, and in a way that all of us have felt it in our spirits when we've needed to be filled up with the word of the Lord and castrate him that way.
Yes.
But anyway, back to Diddy. We saw his kids the other day in handcuffs. Did we see Ivanka Trump and Trump Jr. in handcuffs? But they daddy got niggas thinking they Spider-Man climbing up the wall to kill the vice president and take over Congress and stop an election. But we ain't seen a mugshot or nothing because we're teaching people watching. Black and brown gonna be treated one way, white gonna be treated another way. Black and brown gonna be cannibalized and evil and vilified. White folks, it's a misunderstanding. We won't call a mass shooting in this country terrorism because white people killing everybody. We gonna call it a debate over guns. No, it's terrorism when you go into school and kill 6-year-olds. This, you know, Kamala Harris, biggest issue I have with her is that she just has not been able to put her feet solid on the ground with the culture and understand she said that America's not racist and now is running around to every black church that will welcome her in there because she got some white person advising her telling her that's the way to get the black vote. So I feel very passionately about these things. I think with Diddy, what we're watching is we live in an era where celebrities got to be careful and got to be fearful at all times because all I got to do is put everything I want to say about you in a lawsuit. Let TMZ or Hollywood Unlocked or anybody run the lawsuit because you can't sue a lawsuit. It's a public document. Mm-hmm. So it got out to the public. So they did their dirty work. And then, regardless if you're guilty or not, you're going to lose everything.
For sure.
And then by the time you get to court, you lost it all. And okay, yeah, you didn't do it. It's crazy. So I'm not saying that Diddy didn't do it or he did do it. I think if he goes through his process like R. Kelly did, but we saw the R. Kelly tape, so we knew he did that. Y'all kept dancing in the name of love and asking if you could fly. You saw what that did to that little kid. You. But anyway, with Diddy, we didn't see all this stuff. I saw him and Cassie embracing each other, dancing and, you know, whatever. And then she said what she said. We don't know if it happened or didn't happen. We know she got a bag. We don't know how much. And then that opened the floodgates to dogpile on Diddy. And Diddy's lost it all. He's lost a school that was helping black kids. He's lost his clothing line that none of us were buying at Sean John over at Macy's. He lost Revolt. He lost his Grammy nomination. He lost the deal with Ciroc. And he was getting $50 million a year. Don't get that deal's gone. He's lost it all. And then, like, we're happy about that.
Jason Lee is about to spill some tea on Diddy that's straight up shocking. Word is, Diddy's been making some serious sacrifices to keep his empire thriving. And no, we're not just talking about hard work or networking. This is next-level stuff, the kind that crosses boundaries and leaves a lasting mark. According to Jason's revelations, Diddy's been burning bridges and betraying people left and right. Friends, collaborators, even family, no one's been safe. All of it allegedly in the name of power, money, and fame. But wait, it gets darker. The rumors go beyond broken relationships. Jason's sources claim Diddy's sacrifices include his integrity, morality, and even lives. Yep, you heard that right. They're talking about blood oaths, black magic, and demonic pacts, things straight out of a horror movie. And Jason swears it's the real deal. If any of this is true, the fallout for Diddy's career and personal life could be massive. How does someone who's allegedly gone to such lengths for success find peace, redemption, or even face themselves? Jason Lee's explosive revelations about Diddy have the world buzzing, but here's the twist. Diddy isn't the only one rumored to be making dark sacrifices in the industry. It's a pattern, a toxic cycle infecting Hollywood, where the more power you gain, the higher the price you're expected to pay. So, what does this mean for Diddy? Will these shocking allegations be the final nail in his coffin, exposing him as a man willing to do anything for success? Or will he somehow spin the narrative, play the victim, and shift the blame elsewhere? One thing's for sure, the world is watching, and the fallout is going to be epic. This rabbit hole runs deep. Jason Lee has started peeling back the layers of Tinseltown's darkest secrets, leaving everyone wondering, how far does it go? What other scandals are waiting to be uncovered? And who will be the next to fall as more truths come to light? When Jason Lee finally broke the story about Diddy's alleged sacrifices, he didn't hold back. On his popular gossip blog, he unleashed a series of explosive posts detailing Diddy's shady dealings. And he didn't come empty-handed. Jason brought receipts. He shared screenshots of incriminating texts, emails, and even recorded conversations from anonymous insiders in Diddy's camp. The evidence was damning. It painted a disturbing picture of a man who'd do anything to maintain his empire and power. The moment Jason hit publish, the internet erupted. Social media lit up with shock, disgust, and fascination. Fans and critics alike devoured every juicy detail. This wasn't just another celebrity scandal. Diddy is a powerhouse, with influence spanning music, fashion, and media. For Jason Lee to go public with such bold claims was a huge deal. While some dismissed it as attention-seeking, the evidence was too hard to ignore. Even Diddy's loyal supporters had to admit, things weren't looking good. As the scandal unfolded, it sparked bigger questions about celebrity culture and the price of fame. Fans began scrutinizing their favorite stars, wondering what sacrifices they might have made to reach the top. The glitz and glamour of Hollywood suddenly seemed darker, hiding secrets no one wanted to face. Taking on a powerhouse like Diddy was a risky move, but it paid off for Jason Lee. His blog traffic soared, and he became the go-to source for celebrity scandals. More importantly, he proved that no star is untouchable when the truth comes out. Now, the spotlight turns to others in Diddy's circle, like his ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, who might have more to say about these shocking claims. One thing's clear. The story is far from over, and Hollywood's darkest secrets are finally being exposed.
Kim Porter, we all know about the time that she cut Diddy with a corkscrew. Do you recall any other time that her and Diddy got into it?
Well, I could hear it in the suite, in the hotel suite. And then sometimes when Kim lived on 70th something street, and I would go upstairs with Diddy, you could hear the shit in the hallway. And I would just shake my head when he come out or whatever, and Kim would be in the house. And it's always about where she was at or who she was dealing with. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to see you physically put your hands on nobody. I don't give a shit who you are, or what. I'm not going to see you physically put your hands on her. You understand? That's not going to be me. You know, first of all, I can't. The position I was in, you understand? Investigator for child abuse, worked for Elite Investigations, New York State parole officer. I'm mandated to do something. You understand? I'm mandated to do something. If she says, yo, his bodyguard was right there, but I'm still moonlighting I'm moonlighting as his bodyguard. I'm working as his bodyguard, but I still have that other function as a state officer. I'm mandated to do something. And because the type of dude I am, I'm going to do something anyway. If you don't want me there, it's all right. It's all good. He could have fired me when I told him I'm going to whoop his ass when he said something to his mama like that. He could have fired me then. It didn't make no difference if he did or he did. At the time, I'm Gene. I'm Big Gene. He need me more than I need him. I had the two biggest cats, the three biggest people in New York City behind me. Chaz Williams, Slick, and K. Slay. Do you understand what I'm saying? All those guys representing me. I'm on their team. So he needed me more than I needed him. Because they're not going to do nothing to him. They're not going to push up because they know, oh, that's Chaz man with him. That's K. Slade man with him. That's Slick man with him. You understand? So now, I don't care nothing about what he say. If he wrong, he do something wrong around me, I'ma straighten his ass out. Especially if he do something wrong to a woman. I'm not doing that. That got on his knees one time. We was in the club, and I think Kamara ran out when he said some profanity to her. I think we was in Envies. No, we was in Envies. No, we wasn't in Envies. Was Envies or Eugene? We was at one club, and he had said some fly shit. I said, yo, that's Russell Simmons' wife. But if her security ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing, he just cursed her. But that's a whole nother story at a whole nother time, bro.
Crazy, man. So you could hear Diddy putting hands on Kim Porter.
Well, see, he always do, like I told you, he be doing that. He'll start off, he'll have something on his mind, and he'll like that play fight with them. You understand? And he'll be hurting them when they to the point where they'll be like, yo, stop. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they got the room is locked. You don't hear none of that. And then, you know, Kim would walk out in her white robe, and you could see it in her face. But what are you gonna do?
Right. I always wanted to ask you this, man. Do you know anything about these after parties that Diddy be having?
Which after parties? There's a lot of after parties. There's a lot of after parties for a lot of different reasons. There's after parties if we doing it at the hotel after we do a party, or there's after parties after the after party. You understand?
Right. I guess the one people talk about is the after party.
Well, those will be when him and somebody that he needs something from or wants something from, and he'll get those girls and he'll line them up with him, and they'll all go in the same room. And about the end of the next morning, he done got what he need and got what he want. Because 9 times out of 10, he done put those people in a position, in an awkward situation, that they're going to have to give him what he want.
What you mean by that? Go more into detail about that.
I don't want to go back to this, man, because it's difficult to go back to. But when he took D-Rock out, that was Big's man, pots and pans. And D-Rock understood. I made it clear to him, don't be nowhere where me and Puff is at while we in Cali. Y'all don't come nowhere. D-Rock shook my hand and said, bet that. I come to find out years later through a statement that Clark Kent made that D-Rock and Puff made plans to take Big to that party at the museum that Big lost his life. That came out. Super producer, executive Clark Kent's mouth. I knew that to be true because Puff took D-Rock out